Hello, hello, hello. I am Dory Jo Stoll with Prairie Scraps, and we are here live doing some Chubby Bunnies. Just give you a minute here to come on in for those of you who saw my post, so I appreciate you coming in. Make sure you say hello. Let me know how you are doing. Oh, I am back. I had a great weekend with my new grandbaby, Gwendolyn. Oh my goodness, so much chubby goodness. Love, love, love it. Get this to live here. Make sure you say hello. If you are on my Facebook or YouTube, make sure you follow along. I do have a private crafting group over on Facebook. It is Prairie Scraps Chalkin'. But we are live today on the regular business page, Prairie Scraps, and as well as YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and subscribe and like and do all the things. Hit that little bell notification so you know that when I go live, because I haven't quite figured out. I guess I could do posts on YouTube. I'm probably not as adept at YouTube as I am at Facebook. I don't know, but it seems like Facebook has also changed things. So things are all askew, I guess you could say. So anyway, I appreciate you coming on in here. Today, we are going to do a fun project. We are going to make these cute little bunny chubbies. Not super excited about the name because I feel like I identify as a chubby. So there is that. But they're cute, cute, cute. And they are not available for purchase. Unfortunately, the only way you can get them is with a purchase. They are free with a purchase, and you also get this cute little bunny transfer to go with it. It's called Bunny Tail. Cute, cute, cute. And you could use this without the chubbies. So there's lots of uses. You could do little fabric and glue them together, fabric pillows with them. Super, super cute. So we're going to make my chubbies today. And so I'm happy that you've come alongside me. If you voted for, oh my goodness. So this is the good news. It is 39 degrees here in Idaho today, right now, but we are in a winter weather watch until severe winter weather watch until tomorrow. We did get like maybe 4 inches last night, or yesterday afternoon and last night. So it has been kind of adventurous for the snow because, as you know, a week and a half ago, we got about 15 inches of snow, and then we got 6 more inches of snow. And, it's just been coming down, and accumulating, which is not a normal thing here in where we live in Idaho. We do get snow. That is normal, but it doesn't usually stay around. It doesn't stick around for us, so it kind of disappears over time. So I have my old cardboard out here so that I can go ahead and get these sanded first, because I like to do it on a piece of cardboard since I'm indoors. So everything in Idaho is melting, which is, if you can hear, I don't know if you can hear it, but we're in the little Airstream camper. It's under a great big tree. And so chunks of snow are coming down and hitting the camper. It's dripping, which actually in a rainstorm, Airstream campers are kind of fun to be in because it sounds very cathartic. But, yeah, it just sounds like dripping water right now, and it's not really dripping. It's actually sunny and beautiful outside. So that makes me excited, and of course, day off of school, which makes me more excited. So I hate to say, I love homeschooling my girls. I love being home with them, and they are both in choir at the regular school at the end of the day, and although it's something they really want to do, it interrupts my life. It just does. It would be nicer if we could just keep homeschooling and not have all the busyness of the public school. I'm not going to lie. A lot of emotions happen there, so I get kind of tired, like the girls come home with, oh, so-and-so is doing so-and-so and saying so-and-so, so I would do well without that. Sometimes I'm like, you guys just have to stop or we're going to stop doing choir because I don't need the emotions. I'm just going around the edges here. Let me show you. So this is how it looks before. You could use this exactly how it is. It's got the wood grain. Let me show you. This is the before. And then after, what I'm doing is just going around the edges and giving it a good sanding, because I want it to be, look a little less, you know, like brand new, a little more, I don't know, a little rough around the edges, rustic, maybe you would say. So, if you're watching this first part, or, you know, I realize I picked a different time. I try to go live every Monday and Thursday, and usually I'm live in the afternoon while the girls are at school, speaking of school. But since they have no school today, my older daughter is off working. She helps an elderly lady out once a week usually, and so they decided on today because there was no school. So anyway, she is off working this morning, so I figured I will get this done. These two girls, they've caught everything this year, and maybe twice, so they are still not feeling well. You guys know that my husband got sick before Christmas, and they seem to somewhere in there get a little bit of it, but it went away quicker for them than it did my husband. And then he was just about done when I caught it, so that was fun. Not. All right, get some of that off. Move on to the next one. Isn't this one a cute one? You could even just do a little sanding and put a little ribbon around the neck and go with it. You wouldn't even have to do any sort of transfer with these chubbies. I don't know that they're going to, it says they're out of stock, so that leads me to believe they're going to come back in. And then you can purchase extras. I did purchase an extra set just because I wanted to use my transfer more than once. The transfer you cannot purchase. It's only a with purchase item. So anyway, if you are watching this first part, because I'm at earlier in the morning, earlier than usual, you are probably watching on the replay. So put hashtag replay. Hello, Jeannie. Good to see you. Put hashtag replay if you are watching on the replay. That is fine too. Sometimes, you know, life just happens, whatever. You're not available 24/7, and I did change it up on you today, so it is what it is. I do find the evening times actually work better, but I have so many things now going in the evenings. Tuesday and Wednesday evening, I teach piano. So there's, trying to get all the edges here. It's easy to kind of miss the corner, the in corners. So there's the after on that side. Isn't that cute? It's just, you know, just a little subtle extra. This is what it looks like before. There's the before. But I'm going to do both sides because, you know, if I ever wanted to just do plain white and not, you know, do what I'm going to do with the transfer. I just love these bunnies. They're so sweet, and I knew they were going to go really quick, so that's why I bought an extra set. If I could have, I maybe would have bought 10 sets, but, you know, I don't like to invest in too much, you know, extra supplies, so. But, like I said, these are so adorable, and I love the cutout, really. They're so detailed, actually. They're not the plain Jane bunnies. I know the last set of bunnies we had in the past, I never got them either. I could never jump on it right when they came out, and they go fast. Some of these, especially the Easter ones, I think. We did have some eggs, chubby eggs that came out too. They came out in a set of 4 Easter egg chubbies, and those are also out of stock. So I would just stay tuned. If you want either the eggs or the bunnies, chubbies, when they come back in stock, just put bunny or eggs, and I will try to remind you. I would say Thursday morning would be the restock day. But I don't know. Hi, Sherry. Good to see you. Speaking of Sherry, just so you know, I'm going to be over at the Crafty Hideaway on the 27th of February. Thursday night, we're going to make a galvanized sign. You can sign up at the Hideaway, or you can sign up with me. Either way, I'm happy to save you a seat because I've only got 15 signs to make. So I think that's pretty good for that one. Gonna shake off the dust. Good thing it's nice outside. I can get this outside and just let it go. I don't know if you saw my little chair that I made last Monday on live. I finished it up kind of actually off camera. I just was like, I started going and just had a good old time crafting. You guys, hi Debbie, good to see you. You guys ever have those times where it's just nice to do a little, nice and therapeutic to do a little crafting. Just feels good to just take the time. You know, I enjoy crafting. It definitely is my therapy. It's a little getaway from all the stuff that you're doing. And that's my goal, is to get everybody crafting. No person left behind. It's good for what ails you. Oops, I didn't do the second side on that. This is the other one that we're working on here. There's one side is finished. I'm definitely getting dusty here. Sorry, this is kind of a... I'm just using the Dollar Tree block, sanding blocks. And I tell you what, whenever they come in, because people are onto these in our Dollar Tree, so they're hardly ever in there. But when I see them, I buy a couple. I figure, and I don't know about your Dollar Tree, but our Dollar Tree still has only $1 marked on these. I guess I haven't really looked to see if they're charging me the $1.25 or if it still is only $1, but the sign, so far the last few times I've gone to get it, still says $1. So one of the few things are these little sanding blocks. I like them, and sandpaper for some reason in hardware stores seems very expensive. So at $1, I get a lot of use out of them. And sometimes I'll even kind of, this one's kind of falling apart because I'm being rough on it. But sometimes I can even kind of get them, like rinse them off and get the dust off. Okay, so we're going to set this aside. They're pretty durable. Set this aside here, and I will clean that off later, but I do need to get my hands cleaned. So how are you guys doing? Are you guys off for Monday? Are you on vacation, you know, or a day off for President's Day, or are you busy? I know, kind of one of the things that always happens on President's Day in our county or in our state is the Know Your Government program goes to Boise, and they get to go to the Capitol building over this weekend. So I'm kind of sad because I do have one that can go, but because of her seizures, I just didn't really push it with her. I didn't, because that would mean I'd have to go take her, because it's a bus ride down to Boise, which is a little on the crazy side. It's about a 5-hour drive. Hi, Maria. Good to see you. It is getting warm in here. It is like almost 40 degrees here in Idaho, so that's pretty exciting. But we do have a winter weather, severe weather warning coming in. Actually, it's going to come in because I can see, you know, off in the distance. I can definitely see it's coming. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate your help that way, Maria. That is a huge help. All right. I've got these pretty prepped. I did do kind of a brief wipe down of all that. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab this little transfer. Love this transfer. I'm so excited about it. When it came out, I was like, oh, and you could still get it free. Transfer and a set of Chubbies. It's absolutely free with purchase. So let me know. Put Chubbies down below and I can tell you how. Oh, -4. No, please keep that. In South Dakota. Yikes. -4. Yeah, no, we don't generally get that cold. So for the last week, it has been right around 0 or, you know, a little bit above. I think we had a couple of days where it was minus, but it's not the norm here. We do get it probably once a year, but it's not the norm. So this is a brand new transfer. So I'm taking and running this on the fuzzing cloth so that it gets a little bit of, little less sticky, so it doesn't stick too hard to my wood cutouts. And I think I'm trying to decide if I should do my bunnies. This is kind of like an outline. if I should do my bunnies in gray or do you think brown? Gray or brown bunnies? I don't know. I was kind of leaning towards brown, so nobody answers. That's what I'll be going with, I think. But I do have the gray out as well. Yeah, it was surprising to me when I walked outside. I'm like, oh, actually, it is windy, and it does look like stormy off in the distance, but it is actually, I'm going to put this back down here, and we will start with this little guy here. It's got a white outline that goes around the wood part, so that kind of helps line it up. And that is not going to print, that white part, the outline. I do like that. That's kind of new. They haven't done that a ton, having that white outline, so I love that. I'm going to stick it this way so that it doesn't stick to my surface. Let's see. Gotta get it perfect, right? No. I was so proud of my mom. She was crafting this weekend and making the new club little phone sign, and she's like, I don't know what this is for, but I'm doing it. And I'm like, okay. I was so excited. We had a little phone stand for this month. Do I have it back here? Okay, so anyway, she was having problems lining up. She wanted it absolutely perfect the first time. Okay, brown, so you agree with me. Good. Anyway, this is this month's club. Isn't it the cutest little thing? It's a little stand to put your phone on. I can't show you. You put your phone on. She goes, why would you put your phone on there while you're talking on it? I'm like, because people use their phones to play games and to watch movies. Like, she plays games all day. So I was surprised she was, like, upset about what this was. So it kind of goes together. It's got this little, you know, shelf that goes together. She had redone it a couple of times because it didn't come out perfectly how she wanted it. And then she thought this hole went in the back, which actually I think it's a better angle with this. I did it that way myself the first time. I thought it went like this, but it's a better angle this way. She goes, well, then why is there a hole in there? And I said, because then you could put your cord through the hole. So that is how it works. If you are wondering, you can actually do two different sides, because then you can flip it the other way and do this, you know, do it the other way as well. So you could do two different sides. It's doable. It's flippable. But I did both sides with that so that you could, when you see the underside, it kind of matches up. But anyway, that was, she was calling me. Oh, shoot. Sorry if you are reconnecting online. I don't know what is going on, why it keeps going out. But anyway, she was calling me, and I said, she was expecting it to turn out perfect the first time. And I said, because she gets the club every month and then she leaves it sit. That's what she does. So, anyway, she's trying to support, and I appreciate that. I love my mom, and, you know, it is what it is. But, she was upset it wasn't turning out perfect. And I said, well, you know, she crochets and she knits. I'm like, how often do you make an entire blanket perfect the first time? She goes, well, I just was trying to do a prayer shawl, and I had to tear it out 12 times. I'm like, so 2 times on this little phone stand isn't so bad. We're going to have mistakes. You know, crafting is not a perfection. We have our ideas of what perfection is. I'm getting thrown off a little by my sanded corners here, so it's kind of throwing me off. I'm just going to do the whole thing in brown, and I'm going to come back and take a look at it. We might do, I don't know. I was thinking maybe doing some watercolor pink in the ears. So that was my thought. Do a little bit of watercoloring today. But first we'll get the brown put down and let it get drying. So anyway, sometimes things happen when we craft. It's, you know, it's not an emergency. There's no crafting emergency. And, you know, if you don't like it, you can sand it or wash it off. These are water-soluble pastes, so they are very usable. But you could also take a sandpaper. You could repaint over it, whatever you decide. So that's the cool thing. It's very forgiving. Ooh, this is still sticking very hard. Oh my gosh, this little bunny is adorable. I'm not going to lie. This little bunny is adorable. And I told her, I said, you've obviously not been watching me at all because I do not do any. Isn't that adorable? Holy cow. All right. Please wait while we try to connect. I'm sorry. It still says it's counting up, so hopefully it is working. I don't know what is going on with YouTube. I know I sent out the connection for Facebook today because oh my gosh, that one is so adorable. So, so adorable. Set that aside and let it dry. They do dry pretty quick. That is cute, isn't it? I am in love with bunnies. I definitely love the bunnies. We don't really do the Easter bunny in our house, so there's that, but I don't mind a little spring bunny here. I do kind of like the bunnies. We don't like pretend there's an Easter bunny in our house, but usually do candy. I know we've had years though where we usually do like an egg hunt, and a couple of years we were trying to be off the candy and not have the candy around, so we actually filled eggs with quarters and then hid them so they could have quarters, and that was a lot of fun. We were actually at my daughter's college for Easter that year in Eugene, Oregon, and that was kind of fun. The kids got money. So instead of candy, and they seemed okay with it. They probably will say that was one of those moments where we were abusing them as children instead of giving them candy, because we were trying to stay, as adults, we were trying to stay out of the candy. So all right, here we go. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. So much detail in these. I just love them. So much detail. And this is a washable transfer. We can use it up to 12 times. Isn't that adorable? He definitely needs an orange, or she needs an orange carrot, don't you think? Oh my goodness. So cute, cute, cute. All right, let that one dry. Last but not least, our little squatty bunny. And there is a little tail for the back side of that carrot one. I was looking, I'm like, I was kind of disappointed. Oh, yes, you could paint these brown and then do white, and I think they would look like chocolate bunnies. They really do. Actually, I think if you painted them this espresso color, they would look like chocolate bunnies. That would be really cute. Yeah, we haven't really done those. We had like I think it was it Russell Stover that had we had a Russell Stover factory outlet in our town growing up, and we did the eggs and they would put your name on it. I love those. They were like fudge or whatever on the inside. You could get different flavors oh my gosh, so good. The ones that were kind of like turtle. Oof. Anyway, we're off candy this year, so it might be a money year. And we're kind of down to a 14-year-old and an 18-year-old at home. So that's the other clincher. Although they're all for candy and money and, gifts. So I don't think I can drop the family tradition altogether, but, just because they're older. I didn't either. I remember telling my mom I believed in Santa Claus and Easter Bunny all the way through college so I could get free stuff. Free stuff for my... Yeah, I love those faux... Yeah, that's a good idea. You could do that with these too. That would be so adorable. I love the faux bunny, chocolate bunnies. No calories that way, no sugar that way. All right, try not to pull at an angle. This one's a pretty sticky transfer. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness, that bunny is cute. Cute, cute, cute. All right, we'll put this aside for now, and we might use it again after our watercoloring. What I want to do is do the ears in pink. Let's see what we got for pink. I know we've got this other one. This was a color of the month, Dear Diary, and it was kind of like a very pale pink. Or there's this, I always like peony. I think I'm going to stick with peony. We'll do the peony. All right, this was my first one. Make sure it's dry before I start. It is a very cute set. So cute. Would look great on the mantle or shelf or just sitting somewhere, even on the middle of a table. So cute. Speaking of color of the month, the color of the month this month is an ink. It's a whole jar of ink. It is Dream Car. Also, if you qualify for this free bunny, you will also qualify to purchase these. So actually the bunny, I think, is with an $85 purchase. If you go ahead and get to $75, you will be able to purchase this for $9.60. So that will put you up to that $85. Just watch the numbers. If you don't get a pop-up saying you've qualified for the bunnies, make sure you get that in there, because so cute. So cute. So many things you could do. You could put a ribbon around their necks. We're going to do a little bit of watercoloring here, I think. Let's see what we got. I got my brushes. Got all my supplies kind of everywhere since going out. It's easier I think, to do classes. Oh, that one's kind of big. I think I'm going to take a narrower brush. Classes at my house, but I can't get as many people, and it's nice to, work together with another small business in town because we have a crafty place. So anyway, it's the compromise of having to, the compromise of going out and working, doing a little extra outside. So get some water on my, so what I'm going to do is I just put a little bit of, water in the cap of my peony. Do you say peony? Oh, yes, get back to it. I mean, especially if you're having cold weather, it's a good reason to stay in. I tell you what, they were like, what winter activity, what is your favorite snow activity to do? I'm like, or outdoor snow activity. I'm like, stay indoors and craft. That's my activity. I'm just going to test it out a little bit here on this bunny. And I'm going to put it so that I don't have to reach across. Oh, yes, that's good. And I'm just going to color in. It's okay if you go into the lines. I'm just going to color in here, and I'm going to probably go over some of the brown lines, and that's okay. We're just going to use the paste like watercolor. You could use watercolor if you want, but why get out something new or different? That's my opinion. So I'm just going to kind of try to use like darker around the edges and a little lighter on the inside if we can. I maybe have a little bit too much water going here. The first one is always a little bit of a, let me show you that. I don't know why my connection is not good. I'm going to have to talk to my husband because this is the second time. And I apologize if you're watching on YouTube and it's not turning out. I am so sorry. I think I want to get a little bit of this one too, because this is this. Oh, no, I am lying. I'm looking at the anatomy of the bunny, and it's not the inside of the bunny's ear. I'm going to get that off, and it's going to probably take some of my brown off too. Thankfully, if it's still wet, you can usually wipe off most of the things you do. These Chubby Bunnies, if you make a mistake so bad you have to go over them, any of our Chubbies or any of our wood surfaces, bright white is the same color, so you can patch it with bright white if you can't get it off. You can see. I think it's pretty good. And I think I'm just going to go a little darker. I had been thinking like eyes, but I think pink eyes are not the natural bunnies. I think they're a bred-in bunny. So I'm just trying to get a little bit darker along this brown line right there. And then a little less. Okay. I don't think I want it that dark on this. And I don't really want the whole thing. There's no outlines here. There's no rules, for how you do it. You could do it however you want. I'm just going to do really, that's working out good. Let me show you that. Kind of a lighter painted on there. And I'm not a painter. I have carpal tunnel, so
I don't always, like, this is not a project I can do. I can't watercolor for very long. Let's just say that. Ooh, now I know. So I have seen bunnies with pink eyes, but I think they're, like I said, I was saying, those are the bred bunnies. I don't think they're in the wild. Thank you. Hello, Petals and Pickets. What is your name? And Rachel, thanks for joining in. Just trying to go. Now I need to match them up, so this one got a little darker. That one was perfect in my opinion. But there's, you know, you could do what you want. There's no rules. It's however you want. And there's no, like I was saying, there's no mistakes. You know, there's just, everything is fixable. So don't pressure yourself. It has to be painted. You know, don't not do a craft because you feel like it has to be absolutely perfect. That doesn't make it very relaxing that way for sure. I don't want quite it's like along that watercolor one edge. I want it to be a little more blurry. So I'm going back with my brush here and just kind of brushing along the edge so there's not like such a cut line there. It's a little less cut. Oops. And you could just keep working with it. It's okay to take a little off if you went too far. It's okay. I was like, my mom was all worried about making it perfect. And I was like, obviously you've not been watching me craft at all because I totally make mistakes all the time. I just do. I'm not perfect. All right. I think I'm going to give it a little bit of a pink nose, right? Just a little. And it's okay if you go over that brown. When you paint over the brown, it's going to give it kind of a dulled look, you know. But what we'll do is we'll lay the original transfer back over it and redo the brown in the areas. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness. And yes, I will do the carrot too. So don't worry, we're not done with that one. Okay. I think this is the inside here. Also, if you just wanted to like just get a little more shading, you could go around on the brown with the water on the brush, and that would actually add in a little bit of shading with the brown. But you could see I'm not going super fancy or anything. I'm just kind of, you know, adding a little more in if I think I didn't get enough. At this point, I look like I've got a little too much brown going on. It doesn't look very pink because I've grabbed from that inner part. I think I'm just going to do this other one too, because I think, to me, it looks like they're both the inner sides of the ears. I don't know. I want this to be a little more pink, so I'm adding some pink in this. Add some pink. The nice thing about watercolor is that it doesn't have to be looking, you know, you can make it not look, doesn't have to necessarily have the crisp, oops. I just did the top. Yes, I do sell my crafts. I do. And if you just go to prairiescraps.com, I've got quite a few listed there. I try to list them after I make them here too. So I probably will list these because I do have another set. This one is too bright for me. I'm going to dab it off, I think. This one ended up too bright. See how that ended up really bright, and then I've already tapped away some of it. And I do try to keep the costs down. I don't try to overcharge or anything. You know, I definitely do sell them. And I'm thinking about having a live sale actually this maybe Friday night. So stay tuned. Lydia's got some of her, she's got a big supply or inventory right now of her flannels that she makes. I'm just getting it wet and then dabbing it off so it's not quite as bright. I'm trying to bring it down, the color. See, this one is a lot lighter, but I'm trying to get them to kind of match. This one I don't feel like has enough pink, so I kind of walked away. If you get too much water going on it, sometimes you just can't even get it darker if you want to. So let it dry a little bit and then come back with a little more color if that's what you're looking for. Let's see. I'm just kind of going back and forth here. All right. Trying to get them all. Want to darken it, but I got some brown going on here. This one needs a little more color. It's kind of wet though. And we need a little pink nose. Just a little tiny bit. There we go. You can see the nose. Is that cute? Oh my goodness, these are adorable. And then this one I want to give the nose. Just a teeny tiny bit up there. Do you think the other ear needs some pink on it? I don't know. It looks to me like it's the backside. Just a little bit. I don't know what's going on with. Why is it not connected? Don't tease me like that. Like it goes up and I don't want to end the stream. I just want it to be live. Okay. I think those ears are... This one is the only one over here that seems a little light, not as pink. So I'm trying to get that one a little more pink. Pink or good. Sometimes part of the key is to know when to hold them, know when to stop. Hi, Kimberly. How are you today? All right, let me get this. Oops, the water was in the lid and kind of spilled everywhere. All right. Lift that up before I make my bunnies spotted. All right, so then what I do is I just spray my my brush right into the wipe, these back, so I don't, and then really get it cleaned up that way. And then we're gonna look for an orange to do the carrots, I think. The carrot. Oh yeah, and we got to do the tail too, the bunny tail. So that'll be coming up here in a minute. Let's see what we want to do for the carrot. This looks like yellow. No, this is orange peel. I don't know if that one always seems, it seems really bright to me. I guess it's called orange peel, but I tend to go for a darker orange. This one is, which would you go for, a brighter or darker orange? Tell me where you're at with that, darker or brighter. Look at blues and greens mixed together. I don't know what's going on. And blues, purples, who knows? Things are kind of mixed up. It's an array here. Would you do a darker orange or lighter orange? Try and decide, orange peel or this other one is rust, I guess. The darker, yeah. Me too. That's what I was thinking. But then I do become a creature of habit. You can see I've definitely used this for watercolors before. I just do the watercolor right in the lid. You can see the brush marks, in fact. And we're just going to do this one little carrot here. See what we can do. That's even kind of dry. A little bit more paste. There we go. Ooh, I love it. And I'm going to go sideways because I don't want to go up and down. The lines are sideways, and so if I get darker streaks or lighter streaks going sideways, I think it makes more sense. There we go. Do some shading so that you have a darker side. You always want to, when you're watercoloring, you want to try to get one side darker so that it looks more rounded, one side lighter. I think we'll do this side is kind of turning out that way. This side darker. There we go. That little bunny is adorable with this carrot. Isn't that cute? And I want it to look like it, it's watercolored, not, painted solid. Just gives it a little more warmth and depth. I do think we need some green, so I need to find where I had that green. It was on the other side of this. That was rust that I used. You could use like papaya or something like that. I might use a lighter green for this. Maybe. Or I have like real green. Although this one's a shimmer. This one's Scout. I don't know. I am a sucker for the deeper, darker colors though. Moss. My daughter is coming out. I wonder what that means. She's not feeling well. I think today she's been throwing up. So many choices in greens. I think I'm going to put that bright one away. I think she's getting wooden. Okay, we got to clean up our brush again, especially with the orange in it. We don't want orange stems, so I'm just going to spray water right on my wipe here and get that cleaned. Orange sticks around. It's got more pigment in it than a lot of the other colors. And then we're going to spritz our lid here, get that wet. All right, get a little bit of, this has got a nice fine tip. We'll see how this makes me a little more nervous. And sometimes when you add the water, like this one is actually a little, I'm not sure I like that green. I know, she's had the cold. Now today her tummy is hurting. She's been throwing up. I'm like, I know you just want to lay around and die. She goes, I'm dying. I'm like, well, I can't have you die, but we do, if you want to slow but sure, get your chores done a little bit. That would be great because, mom and dad have to work even when we're sick too. So hopefully that keeps her going too. I'm going to go back to this. This is moss. I think the moss is going to do me better. That was too bright for me, for my taste. I like the darker. You could also take a little bit of greens from something if you had a small, oh shoot. I've really kind of got some of that other green on here. Was that forest? It was forest. So forest is not it just, when I added the water, it looked too light. I'm going to try to get most of the color out. Dab, dab, dab. Don't smear it outside. Oop. And then the other thing too, if you're trying to wipe things off, whether it's a mistake or whatever. Yeah, I like the moss color too, but I see it smeared the brown up a little bit. Go towards the paste where you want it to be, and it seems like it just sort of shifts in where it should be. So we're gonna We're going to go heavy with the moss to get rid of that forest color. Usually at Christmas time, I love that forest color. It's a deeper, darker color. But today for Easter, we're kind of going with moss. Get our greens here. You could put a little bit, you know, leaves or something in here, some faux ones. Just hot glue it on there. That would be cute too. Put a bow around his neck. I don't want to put a bow around their necks because it would, you know, a lot of the detail is on their neck. So I hate to. All right, we're going to get a little bit of water going too. Here, kind of spread that out a little bit better. So here we definitely need to come back with the brown and do the outline over again. Sometimes you think, oh, I could get away with not outlining again a second time. And then when you do it, it's like, oh, that was so good. So much better. So I'm coloring that in. That is a better color. I love it. Isn't that cute? Okay. The only other one is this one. Actually does need the tail. This transfer is called bunny tail. They must have been just tickled with themselves putting bunny tails on this little bunny. So, all right, we want to get this dry here. That is the cutest little bunny. Get that dried up. And get you don't want to smear it. It's a little thicker right there with that green. It's not as watercolored as the rest of the bunny is. That's okay. That is okay. Oh, I guess that orange can go back. Rust. All right, and then I'm just gonna take my little brush and spritz it up and get it clean again. Get all the color out of it. Wash it good. And then we'll put it away so it doesn't get wrecked. Their faces are adorable. They really are just adorable little bunnies, I think. I think the gray, I've seen it done with gray, and I like the gray, but I think this is so much better with the brown. That's espresso, by the way. You could also use bark, which is just a tish lighter in color. All right, let's start with this little bunny tail. Look at that. It's like right there on this transfer. You see that little bunny tail? Cute, cute, cute. It's kind of like baby goodness too, right? Bunny goodness here. I got to spend my weekend with my daughter and her newborn baby, little Gwendolyn. Oh my goodness. So cute. She is so adorable. I'm very smitten. Helped her out, washed her floors in her downstairs and on Friday and held the baby a lot. I felt kind of bad. They're on their third one. They're doing so good with babies. Oh my gosh. So cute. Just want to tickle that little tushy. Isn't that cute? I just think that's adorable. Okay, we'll set that aside. And we'll start with our brown. Now this is, like I said, you wouldn't have to do this the second time, but I'm telling you that when you do it, it just gives it that little extra zhuzh that makes it look perfect, right? Like I was saying, nothing is perfect. Nothing in life, nothing beautiful is ever perfect, but, right, if you look in nature, nothing is perfect, but it's still very beautiful. All right, I need to find this bunny and line it up. The lining up is, what you want to do is have no white showing through in your transfer to line it up. That's the key. So even just a little bit shows a little bit of white. So I want to get that just right. And then get your fingers stuck off of it. And this one I only have to do around the nose and the ears because that's the only place we watercolored. And this will just give it a nice crisp outline where you watercolored. It'll just add to it, just give it that little extra something that it needs so that it's not as watered down. And you'll think, like I said, you'll think, oh, it looks fine. You don't have to do that, but I will show you in a second here, hopefully, how much nicer that looks. It's just much better. You could do the whole thing. Oh, and they cut us off. Your stats are being processed for the latest data. Oh, I'm so sorry. All right. If you were worried about it, because it does kind of look darker, you could go around the whole thing. And I might just do that because it does show. Because you want the whole thing to look similar. If you were worried about it, not sticking really well, you could wash the transfer. That was the other thing. My mom was waiting. You can kind of hurry along the dry process on your transfers. If you stick it, once you wash it, just stick it to your fuzz cloth on both sides and just kind of get it dry. So it'll be pretty close to dry. The truth is, if it is sopping wet, it will be a mess. So you don't want to do that. I'm trying to put it on here. I was trying to avoid doing the whole thing again, but I think I'm gonna, just to be consistent. Oh boy, I cannot get it lined up. I don't know what is with my internet connection. I wonder if there's like snows or ice or something. It's been so icy, so even though it's beautiful warm outside and everything is melting, but we don't have very good snow removal. The highway, I shouldn't say that. Our county does great snow removal. Our city does not remove it all. They just they did take a lot off this time. I shouldn't complain, but they didn't do a great job of getting down to the roads. So there's a lot on there, and then it froze really hard. And so we have just a ton, like probably 4 inches of ice on all the roads. Yeah, it is sharper, and I'm trying to just, should have done this in the first place. Get it. The other problem with it is that it can stretch a little, so. All right, I think I've got it close. I'm just gonna go over the whole thing. Hopefully I'm pretty close. So now when it starts to melt, it's like slushy, mucky, 4 to 6 inches of muck combined with ice, because it's not all down to it. It's not all melted. Anyway, it's a mucky mess out there, and it's like driving on back roads, like without any, it's like driving through the mud. All right, hopefully I got this. Well, our little tail got a little smear on it. But that's much better. Let me show you that. See the tail? Oh, I'm upset about this. YouTube is, something's going on. I don't know if it's my computer. I'm just going to kind of pat in there, push towards the outside outline to try to get that off. And then leave it dry for a hot minute if it's not going to come off, which it's not. And I will come back with actually sandpaper, so you'll get to see that. All right, so that one is done. It's definitely darker. Like, you can see the difference.
but it just adds that extra detail to it. So we're going to go on to this one and try to line this one up again. You could also do the first layer with a lighter color so that you don't have to line it up as specifically as, you know, like you could see, like I really am trying to line this up well. If you're worried about lining it up the second time, do a lighter color like Dune or something, do your watercolor, and then come back with your brown. What in the world? Seems like my top is off. So anyway, so driving is quite the feat out there right now. Driving through town is crazy. It's like I need four-wheel drive. I've needed it because it's so icy in town. But I need four-wheel drive today because it's like 4 to 6 inches of slush and ice and bumps, and it's like back-roading, off-roading. Hi, Paula. Good to see you. All right, here we go. We're going to do the whole thing right off the bat, so I got that one a little easier lined up. Yeah, make sure you get all the bump. The reason my little tail, it probably wasn't attached all the way, so make sure all your little bubbles are out of it and it's attached really good, because it will sneak underneath on you. Again, an imperfection, right? It's okay. I try to keep the word perfect out of my mind and out of my mouth, especially like with music students, because I teach piano and guitar. Because, nobody's perfect. It's hard for kids to understand. Oh my goodness, this really looks good. And even like, as long as it's not like, doesn't that look cute and so defined when you do that second layer, right? Even though that was just the ear that we did. All right, Mr. Bunny tail, his tail is done. I'm going to try his front here. Probably good I started with the one that didn't have as many colors. Okay. And this has had plenty of time to dry, so I could just use it a second time. But like I said, you could wash the transfer and use it again. Ugh. My husband and I were coming up in May with our 30th anniversary. Just the wandering thoughts of my mind here. You get my insanity today. It's Monday. My husband and I were trying to plan something for our 30th anniversary. Trying to kind of keep it to a minimum as far as cost goes, but we'd like to do something special. So I don't know. We can't decide. We're having struggles deciding, but I think maybe we got onto something last night that we both were like going back and forth to just fly somewhere and stay somewhere, you know, like stay somewhere new or go see something. And I think we kind of keep vetoing going to a big city because we're not really city folk, even though I like the cities better, I guess. Yeah, I get kind of annoyed by all the city folk. I don't know, all the busyness of it. I've definitely slowed down. Let's just say that, from living in the little small mountain town. So anyway, trying to figure out something, and we're not really coming up with much. We've talked about cruises, but I think just the cost, and for our first time for our 30th, we don't want to ruin it. I've heard, you know, most people like it, but then you hear that story here or there, people who don't like to go on a cruise, and it's really bad. So anyway, last night we were kind of investigating, and I think we stumbled on maybe taking a train trip through Grand Canyon, but we're trying to figure out how to get there. So it might be a different place, but we both were very excited about maybe we've never done a train trip. So that's, I think, what we're looking for. So if you've got ideas for in that nature, that area, let me know if you've ever done a train trip somewhere, whether it's, you know, I know there's one through Glacier, there's one Oh my gosh, that little bunny, didn't his carrot just really come out? Isn't that cute? By doing that second layer. So this is where I guess the storm would have been really nice, I think. And then his little tail. He's so cute. And these stand up on their own, which is really cute. Aren't they adorable? So cute. Love, love, love them. Devil's Tower. Oh, yes. And you're in South Dakota and you haven't been there? We camped there with our Airstream. That was fun. They show like that. What is that show? The alien show every single time. Every night. Or every couple of nights, I think, at that campground, the KOA, right underneath Devil's Tower. That's where we stayed with our Airstream. That was fun. Our kids were really little, so they didn't know about any of the alien things with the Devil's Tower. But yeah, that's fun. I know we've done that with our Airstream. We've talked about just going with our Airstream because we have Airstream, and it is kind of a different kind of camping when you go in an Airstream because it's kind of fancy. So we could go fancy camping. Last year, I booked an Airbnb Airstream to stay in Montana, and that was fun. We had a great time. But I don't know. We've been going rounds. Like maybe we should just take the Airstream out somewhere, stay somewhere. I know. And we don't either. So it feels like, but I told my husband, like, it's our 30th. We have to do something. Like we have to. We missed 25. We missed, 20, we didn't really do anything exciting for any of those. And we talked about when we got married, we went to the Poconos for our honeymoon. Like, we're going to come back here every 5 years. And we've not been back to the Poconos, so we've thrown that around a little bit. Going back to the Poconos. But again, it's like so expensive to stay in we stayed in those fancy, like the heart-shaped bathtub round bed places in the Poconos, and still, I don't know. It's not up there. So let me know. Tell me what you got. If you've got ideas for the train thing. Cause I think that was the thing that we got most excited about. Cause you could go out, it's a 1 day, like a 4-hour tour, to Grand Canyon and then stay 2 nights in the Grand Canyon in the hotel. There's a package, and then come back again on the 4th day. So, but it's not, you can't just fly into the Grand Canyon. You have to either go to Arizona or go to Vegas. So that's the details we're trying to figure out. But if you know of a better way to do it or a really great tour you've ever done on train, let me know. I would love to hear about it. Because we're in the planning stages. And I guess I heard a really good one from Ramit. I can't remember what his last name is, but We Can Grow Rich or whatever. He said, living your rich life is actually part of planning a trip like that. You live it over 3 times. Like the first part is in just the planning, that you enjoy the time together planning it. And it was feeling like drudgery, and I decided, okay, what do we really love? And so that was really exciting to try to plan a train trip. And then actually taking the vacation, then you relive it again when you look back at photos and memories. So I thought that was a great way to put it. Like, it's not just, it's some of the doing is part of the actual trip. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. This really would be under an hour. Thanks for all the ramblings that you've listened to and paid attention to. I appreciate it. If you want more information about how to get these chubby bunnies, go ahead and put chubby down below. If you were wanting to be on the list when they go on sale, just an outright sale, just for but that does not include the transfer. The transfer is only with the purchase. And with the purchase, you get the Chubby Bunnies, the Chubbies, as well as the transfer with the purchase, or the eggs. Put eggs down below or bunnies down below, and I will get you, I will be sure to let you know if those come back in. But like I said, I make no promises. If you really, really want these, it's a good idea to just go ahead and get on, go in and make your purchase so you can get those. But aren't they adorable? I just think they are so cute. Love them. All right, you guys, kind of like new babies. You want to squeeze their cheeks and, the little bunny tail. Want to squeeze this little bunny. All right, thanks so much. I appreciate you all. Have a great, blessed day and keep on crafting.